Well, Curtis Sliwa. I am the head of the Guardian Angels, the founder, and I host 2 radio programs a day on AM 970, The Answer. And for those who have come over from East Europe, it's Sliwa, like the plum, like Slivovitz wine. Some will think I'm Russian, Ukrainian. Hey, no problem. I happen to be Polish. Don't hold it against me. I'm here actually in the company of my wife, Melinda Katz, because we have 2 sons, obviously Jewish mother, we're raising them Jewish, and I've always been a big supporter of the state of Israel before I even knew Melinda Katz. And we'll be marching in the parade as we do each and every year, the Guardian Angels, to support all the Jewish institutions that raise the young little kids, because if they don't know who they are and they're not tough, they're going to get turned into speed bumps. And let's face it, you have to be a tough Jew nowadays in order to survive. No, I think you have to know one thing about American people. Until there's an emergency, they don't pay attention. So even though they remember the horrors of 9/11, it's so long ago, they've continued with their daily life. Even though they just saw recently what happened to Boston, they see now what's happening in Iraq as we've left. It's going back to the old, suicide bombers, Shias killing Sunnis, Sunnis killing Shias, killing Kurds, all that mishigash, all that craziness. But Americans only get focused when there's an emergency. That's why here in New York City it's so important that whoever the next mayor is, that we continue to do the surveillance on all the mosques on Friday, the day of prayer, Juma, when the imam speaks, on all the cultural centers in all the neighborhoods, so that undercover police officers can figure out, hey, is anyone talking terrorism here? Is anyone trying to launch an attack against America right here in New York or New Jersey? And you've seen in New Jersey, Governor Christie, all the elected officials were giving Mayor Bloomberg and Police Commissioner Kelly a lot of grief. But they were right, and they continue to be right. My fear is whoever becomes mayor, that they may not continue it with the same passion, the same obsession that Raymond Kelly has had to keep us all safe, because he understood after 9/11. You cannot just totally trust the FBI, the national security agents, the CIA. You have to have a second layer of protection. And that's what the NYPD has become for all of us, not just in New York, but for the entire country. I don't think the relationship between our president now is strong and the Prime Minister of Israel. It sort of reminds me when George W. Bush's father was president. We call him Bush 41. And he had Secretary of State Baker. They were not all that friendly to Israel. They were friendly to the Saudis. So I think we're in another cycle. George W. Bush couldn't be any more friendly to Israel. Now Barack Obama, he's trying to be friends with everyone. But as you know, you can't be friends with everyone in the Middle East, because if you're friends with the Sunnis, then all of a sudden the Shias hate you and vice versa. And if you're friends with Israel, both the Shias and the Sunnis hate you. So you can't win. So the idea is, who is the only person, who is the only country in all the Middle East and North Africa and the Persian Gulf that we can trust? It's Israel, because we have the same interests at heart. And for those who have a religious purpose to go to Israel, evangelicals, charismatics, Roman Catholics, it doesn't matter who you are, you want to make sure that Israel is in good shape, because everybody wants to do that pilgrimage. And when the Arabs controlled the Holy Land, you weren't safe and secure. Israel has guaranteed everyone's security and safety, no matter who you are, even if you don't like Israel, right? Even if you actually support the Palestinian cause against Israel, they still make sure you're safe and secure. Can you really say that's true if you went to Jordan, or if you went to Egypt, or if you went to the Palestinian Authority areas, or if you somehow snuck into the Gaza? The reality is that's not true. You're not safe and secure there. Let me say, you can never trust the United States, because we're going to protect our interests first and foremost. So when it comes to the Ayatollahs, when it comes to whoever replaces Ahmadinejad in this new fixed election of theirs to find a new president, the reality is Israel must depend on itself. They must go back to the time when Menachem Begin said, I don't care if the whole world is opposed to us. Saddam Hussein is developing a nuclear weapon, and we are going to take out his nuclear reactor outside of Baghdad. And he did it. And even Ronald Reagan condemned it. So Israel is on its own. America can be a very good ally when it comes to Iran, but you can't depend on the U.S. to lead. Israel must lead, and then hopefully our country will follow.